Who is it?
Road trips.
Today on Road Trips, we head for the coast again, starting from Astoria. We're going to check out Warrenton and the Fort Stevens State Park with our guest co-host, Chris DeBois. So now, let's hit the road.
Hello again, and welcome to Road Trips. I'm Todd Hilton.
And I'm Dan Bradley.
And I'm Chris DeBois.
Once again, we have Mr. Chris DeBois joining us for another exciting edition of Road Trips. And today, we'll be taking you to Warrenton area. In case you don't know where that is down on the Oregon coast, which we'll be taking a look at the Fort Stevens area and some other stuff down in that direction. One of our last trips, the last time we headed down this direction, we had another perfect day, weather-wise, and we seem to have that again today. Which is sure nice because I was just getting sick and tired of doing shows in the rain. Well, overcast anyway. We are starting our trip closer to our destination because we've pretty much seen this stretch of highway already in our Astoria road trip. So we're trying not to repeat roadways to keep it a little more interesting. We just passed through. We started at Napa. And I'm not exactly sure where we are now. What was that? Spitz?
Svensson.
Oh, Svensson, okay. And we're about...
Creek is not Bear. Yes, we just passed over Bear Creek, and I will say Bear Creek is not Bear. I will say. And
there is water in it, it's not...
It's just not naked.
Right. Okay. As I was saying earlier, yeah, we have the pleasure of having Mr. Chris DeBois joining us on another road trip. This will be his third trip with us, and the first two were the first two episodes of the series: Camp Singing Wind, our pilot episode, and part one of our off-road edition. Yeah. And now he's back again. And we're back
with another edition of Gorgeous Road Trips on a perfectly awesome day. Partly cloudy, but hey, that'll work. It'll work.
Partly cloudy is good enough for me as long as it's not overcast. So the color should look really good this time. Not that that matters, but it definitely helps.
In addition to this, we will be keeping our off-road edition very, very limited for at least a couple more years, hopefully. We do not have any more beater cars to be using up, unless Chris gets one.
Oh, thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, we were using Dan's beat-up Toyota, which he no longer has, for the off-road edition, and as of now, actually, I just got a car, but it's not really one I want to be taking off-road.
Even roadworthy.
Well, thanks a lot. But what we need to do, if we can like rent something for a day, probably be spendy, but so far the only money we've been spending on these trips is just gas money, and like between the time, the only other thing would be like stop for lunch or something. It's been the only other expense, but maybe we'd be able to do that sometime. Of course, we'd have to find some place to go off-road, which that may not necessarily mean gravel. It could be back roads. What we were on in the off-road edition was actually logging roads. Those were not back roads. Those were logging roads. Big difference. So we may do something like that, where it's paved, but some of the lesser known areas, which is pretty much almost all of Rainier, is back roads. So we may do something like that again, but probably not anytime soon. We're trying to keep the series interesting by taking you places touristy that you would go on, like on a weekend or something, where you have a whole day that you can take a trip, like today.
Absolutely, perfectly gorgeous. Absolutely, yes, yes.
Because next week we'll be going to Hawaii.
Yes, we'll be driving directly to Hawaii, where we'll be drowning in the Pacific Ocean. And I want to take you all around, all the way to Hawaii. Sorry. That's one road trip I don't think we'll be taking, is driving to Hawaii. But you never know. So we'll be going to the beach. We actually will set foot on the beach this time, unlike our last coast trip, where we just went to Astoria. We never hit the beach. But it was actually a very good trip. We did really good on that trip. We got our first 2 interviews of the series. We've talked about it before, where we're trying to expand the scope of the series, including more things to look at and people to talk to, at least people that we can actually get to talk to us. Nothing real in-depth, but just basic information that we can get out of employees at tourist sites and things like that.
Yes, we found out on our Astoria trip that actually Goonies, majority of it was actually filmed in Astoria, along with a bunch of other movies that we didn't even know.
Yeah, when we took our Astoria trip and we went up to the Astor Column, we actually found a listing of movies that were shot in Astoria. Several of them we knew and have seen, but there was actually quite a few that we've never even heard of. And it was probably, what would you say, maybe 25, 30 movies?
About that.
I had no idea they'd done so many down in here, but just as long as they shoot movies and not try to move up here. We Oregonians hate that.
Yes. Although it wouldn't be too bad shaking Arnold Schwarzenegger's hand, although he'd probably break it in 2, but hey. It still would be nice to actually see some more of the heavyweight actor types up here. So that way we can get more of a publicity. There we go.
We are just about to Astoria, I believe. Should be, anyway. Of course, what do I know? I'm just a co-host. I have no idea where we're going. We're just about to Tongue Point here. We've just passed the sign. We are now officially in Astoria.
Absolutely.
You can't tell from here, but we are.
We are in Astoria, city limits.
Our cameraman is falling asleep. And we're back after a short intermission here. We are now in downtown Astoria, and we're going to go ahead and we've actually decided that we're going to skip the Flavel House. We'd like to leave something for you viewers to actually experience yourself. We've shown you what it looks like. It's actually not that hard to spot. It's actually, from where we are now, it's just a couple blocks to our left. And if you need directions, I think we actually have a phone number, and I might even have an address for the Flavel House. I received it when I called the director at the Maritime Museum and got some information there, which we'd like to thank the people at the Maritime Museum for letting us come in and videotape. And like I've said before, hopefully we haven't spoiled it for you people out there who actually like to see some of this stuff who haven't seen it. There's actually a lot more to see in the Astoria area. There's at least one more museum that I know of. I believe it's called the Heritage Museum, and I'm not sure where that one is actually. But there is particularly in this area, there's a lot of history around this area, so there's quite a bit to look at. If I can find it here somewhere, I believe I have the information. Yeah, you want to take over for?
I'm always looking for the address. I'd just like to point out the fact that off-road, road trip people, personnel, would be happy and privileged and stupid to do anything, any suggestions that you guys might have. Just write a letter or call in to CCTV, Channel 9 St. Helens, and we will be contacted as to where you'd like to go, how you'd like to go, and when you'd like to go. No guarantees that we get it anytime soon, but we will put out an effort to get to these places. And now...
Yeah, because if we actually go to the place that you do, you will get an actual Road Trips t-shirt. Right.
It's funny you should mention that. We actually talked about that, making like t-shirts with the Road Trips logo on it. That'd be cool.
Yes, and you'll get it at Chris DeBois' expense.
Yay! Well, I can't find it. I had it with me when we took the last trip, and I cannot find it. But another suggestion.
I have.
Go to
Okay.
go to the library, any library, get an Astoria phone book, and look it up. You might also try, I'm sure Astoria has like a Chamber of Commerce, and they'd be able to tell you the address of the addresses, phone numbers of all the big tourist attractions here, and they'd be able to tell you how to get there. Right now we're continuing through Astoria. We're just about to catch the bridge that goes across. I'm not sure if it's a lake or what have you, that goes across into Warrenton. Another trip that's come up, if we decide to take another coast trip, recommended by Mr. Chris DeBois, Seaside. Won't be doing that today.
Seaside or Lincoln City, actually. Lincoln City probably be better than Seaside.
You been to Lincoln City? Yeah. Isn't they got like gambling and stuff down there too?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. Which is the only reason to go to Lincoln City. We can't find any other reason. I wouldn't know. I've never been down there, so. We could go to Newport and see Keiko.
Yay! Keiko!
Free Willy!
free chili! Now we're at
Free Willy included.
Free Willy included with every bowl of chili. That rhyme, but that's not important. I'm Todd. Good night. This is a pretty cool bridge, actually. It's not like other bridges. This one actually is right on the water, which it seems to me would be a much more difficult bridge to build. But what do I know? I don't build bridges. I just talk about them. I just drive off of them. Yeah, really. Yeah, I don't know what this bridge is called, but this is taking us over to Warrenton, which actually, we are 1 mile from Warrenton. I don't know where we should go first because
let's check out a local rest stop.
What good is that gonna do?
This is a toilet. Sure, why not?
Wow. Okay. This is why we brought Chris along, as the comedy relief. And anyway, I started to say, if we take the road splits off here. If we take the left, we can go to Fort Clatsop. If we take the right, we can go to Fort Stevens. Either way, we're looking at a fort. Strange things are a fort.
We're going to Fort Knox.
And if we just keep going straight, we'll go to Fort Knox. Well, Dan is in the right lane, so obviously we're not going to Fort Clatsop. Fort Ketchup. So I guess we're going to Fort Stevens area first.
Sure.
Hopefully we can reach some of these places in time, because they do have hours that they close. We'll be able to find out. We'll be able to tell you when we get there. And also, so in case we get there late, you folks out there won't make the same mistake, because you'll know. Not like our failed attempt at hitting the ape caves. Stupid us, we failed to check ahead of time to make sure it was open, not knowing that it was, actually I think we did kind of know that it was seasonal, but we didn't know that it was not open yet.
Yes, we actually got down to the turn off the Warrenton Cougar exit. We actually got past
Warrenton, you mean
Warrenton,
you
the
mean
Woodland
Yeah.
and Cougar exit. We actually got off there and decided to pull over and check things out, and yes, it was closed.
Yeah, we didn't make it very far. We made it about halfway, and found signs saying that the ape caves were closed. So right now we are in Warrenton, and
We're leaving Warrenton.
I've never actually driven here, but I've been through here many times. It forks off here, and you want to take a right up here at the stop.
Left.
Left, right, left, right.
Left.
Or actually,
No, I don't want to go left. I want to
okay,
go
straight, okay.
Going left? Right.
Right.
Oh, I should go right?
Right. Left. Left?
Right.
Oh man, we could stop at the Dairy Queen, man. Dairy Maid, it's a Dairy Queen wannabe. Okay, so you don't take a right. It's actually kind of a screwed up intersection there. It's very, it's like one way goes.
One way, the other way.
It's like there is no straight. One curves off to the extreme right, and the other one curves off just barely to the right, which is the one we're on. What is the name of this road?
If you think you want to go right, just go straight and you'll end up going right.
Right.
Don't pull a Todd and get yourself lost. And don't pull me and follow maps the way they're not supposed to go.
Right. You shut up with that. Somewhere through here, there is like a fish factory or fish, I don't know what you call it, fish place. And you can always tell when you're going the right direction because it'll start to smell really fishy.
Something smells fishy.
Something smells.
There's quite a few cops out today.
Something's fishy in Warrenton. And it's like, it doesn't matter if your windows are up, you'll still smell it. It's very strong.
Very much like fish.
The smell is overwhelming.
The smell from the back seat was terrible.
Now wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Like we've said from the beginning, if we get lost or any,
Killed or maimed.
I don't know about I don't want to wake up in the morning dead. I don't know about you, but no thanks.
Shot in the head, shot in the head.
But any mishaps that go on during the road trip, as long as we've got the camera running, you'll see it. So if we mess up, you'll see it all.
As long as we get a flat. Don't want to bring up the donut.
Yeah, we don't need to get a flat tire and. Oh man, all we got is a donut.
What is that gonna do? It's powdered.
Yeah, this ain't, and it's powdered. We can't use a powdered donut on the car. Okay. Anyway.
And it's filled. Raspberry.
The filling's out, man.
Okay, it's getting stupid here now. Okay, we're just about to Fort Stevens. Actually, there's two parts to Fort Stevens. There's one that has the historical museum in it, and another part is the campground. We actually want to go to the historical part. There's several sections to the two parts. We'll probably go to the museum part first, because that's the easiest to see. There's also there's Battery Russell, but the one here at the historical one is actually more to see.
Okay, looks like we're going
Like-
this way.
Actually, we want to go straight.
Fine, we'll go left.
Trust me on this one. Yeah. See, that's the park. The left is the state park. This one here is the historic area. So this has all the museum and
Batteries.
yeah, the older batteries. These are actually the more interesting sites.
And we will take you in to the mouth of the lion. The eye of the dragon.
Step inside. Okay, day use only. This is why we're here. We should be able to see what time they close here. Labor Day weekend, August. Okay.
From 10 to 6.
Okay, gates are locked at 6 o'clock. It is 3 o'clock now. Hopefully we'll try to spend maybe no more than an hour and a half here. Because we only have one tape. One. And I don't know how much tape we have left, but hopefully, I hope we don't run out of tape so we can actually squeeze all this into one episode for you. Following a tow truck.
No, we are not being towed, people, okay? Granted, it's a Ford found down the road dead, but we're not getting towed.
Contrary
Don't let
to...
him fool you. We're being towed.
Yeah, we...
Hey.
Okay, he's lying. We're being towed. Somewhere here is the historic area.
Just around the corner.
Oh man, I forgot about this. I think we gotta pay to park. Okay, we're back. We're down here at the Peter Iredale.
What's left of it?
What's left of it off to our left here. So we're down here. I believe this is actually called Clatsop Beach. If I've read my postcards correctly.
Get this! Postcards! The postcard king of the Northwest. There you go, right here.
Mr. Chris DeBois will be your cameraman once again. We have yet to see him on camera, but hopefully before the trip's over we'll see him at least once.
Don't freak when you see us now, okay? Please.
It's
Don't change the channel.
it's not a very clear day today, but hopefully you can see enough that that we are actually standing on the beach. We decided to come down here first and do this bit here, and then we're going to go up around the campgrounds and get permission to go up at the historical area and videotape around there. So we're going to go ahead and show you what's left of the Peter Iredale here.
Not much. But
Not much. Shipwrecked, crashed here on the beach here in 1906, which is 6 years before the Titanic. So this thing is actually older. To get Chris to pan across here, you can actually see the what's left of the ship here actually spans quite a ways. The story goes that they actually, the reason why there's not very much left is they actually cut up the ship for salvage. They scrapped it and basically left just the bow remaining here in the front. So you can actually get an idea how big the ship was. Fairly good size, actually.
the Titanic was 10 times bigger, but still it sank. Because some person fell asleep at the helm.
This one has always fascinated me too, because this one you can actually walk up to and touch. In fact, the last time I was down here, I actually was the shooting for the music video for The Bounce, which, if any of you saw AM Dust 2, was featured in there. And part of the video was shot down here on the beach. I think we'll take a closer look here, and we can take you inside the ship.
Come on.
What?
Come on.
So come on, and we'll show you. And we take a closer look here. Parts of the ship are sticking up out of the sand. You can tell this is actually metal here. It'd be interesting to see how far down the pieces actually go here. You can see kind of a framework if we look down at the sand here and follow the trail here. The ship is kind of at an angle, tipped to the left side here. So everything that's sticking up out of the sand is also tilted to the left. We're fortunate to have the tide is out right now, so we can actually get a good look at it. Yeah. Whatever this was, it's obviously tipped over. Could be part of a mast.
Just been here quite some time.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, just by looking at it, it's hard to tell that this thing is even metal. Let's see, 1906. Let's see. I'm trying to think how many years is that?
90 years. 91.
Years. Yeah. 1997, 1906.
Here, it's more like algae stuff. You're scraped away.
Your typical barnacles and other things that attach themselves to the things here at the beach. Actually, I believe this stuff is probably older than our grandparents. Old stuff here. In just a minute here, I think we'll take you up and we'll actually walk inside the remains of the bow of the Peter Iredale here. You can get kind of an idea how big the ship was looking at this stuff here. In fact, the little bit that's kind of there's a little bit kind of sunk into the pools of water around surrounding it here.
Pretty sturdy for being old.
Actually, I think Mr. Mark Johnson, who videotaped the video for The Bounce for me, where Dan is now, Mark actually walked up in there to videotape part of the music video. I wasn't about to do it, but he did it, and actually provided some pretty cool views. Like I said, it's pretty fascinating to see this here. Unlike most shipwrecks, which have actually sunk, this one you can walk up to and touch. So it's actually, I've always been fascinated by this one. Does that look like wood? That's wood. Now, how could wood last that long? That's like, sounds impossible to me. Yeah, there's another piece right here. Obviously actually part of the ship. Amazing. Okay, we can see here we're standing in front of the bow here, and it's actually pretty tall. If I go up and stand next to it, you can see how tall it is. It's probably a good 30, 40 feet, something like that. Something like that.
Yeah, I would definitely say about 30, 40 feet. certainly a holy ship. It's been to church.
That makes sense to me. Yeah, let's look. Road trips!
Some parts not thicker than a knife blade at home.
Yeah, it's probably, well, it's like some of the thinner pieces wore out and eventually broke off or something because the holes aren't even. The holes in the side here aren't evenly shaped, unless that was part of the salvage. I was always mad because they didn't leave the ship in one piece. That would have been cool.
You know, engineers, they have to learn from their mistakes. It's like us at road trips.
Yeah.
The tide is coming in.
Yeah. We're caught right in the middle of it here. Oh boy. Well, we're gonna try. Yeah, we're gonna try to get out of here. If at all possible, we got many whirlpools.
Here it comes.
Okay. The tide! Help! So we're gonna get a little bit farther up on the beach here. I think we'll take one last look at the ship here. We'll see if we can find the back of it, which is clear down there. See if we can find the farthest part on the ship here.
And here we are at the far end of Peter Iredale. Stern.
Yeah, the stern. We have found the stern of the ship. No relation to Howard Stern, but this is the stern of the ship here. We're a good, how far would you say? Quite a ways, actually. Not even probably maybe the length of a football field or a little bit more. About 100 yards, maybe 110 yards or so. In length here.
This is actually pretty good condition compared to the front end.
Yeah.
It's not quite as high in the barnacles as I thought.
And I believe this moves. At least I thought it did. Okay, yeah, a little bit. Vibrates. Boom. I can do that.
I'm like the bell at Maritime Museum. This does not ring.
Right. And these are not hollow. I'm not exactly sure what these were. They're obviously part of the ship, but I don't know what they were. What they would indicate here. Doesn't seem to be any kind of particular shape to them. They seem oddly shaped. But this is the farthest piece of the ship that's back here. So this is obviously the stern.
At least that we can see.
But that's pretty much it down here at Clatsop Beach. I said it's not
always the sun if it's out, the wind if it's here, the ocean if you love that sort of stuff.
Yeah, one thing, it can get very cold out here on the beach.
Real fast.
Yeah, especially once the sun goes down.
And it gets froggy.
Yeah.
We have toes here.
Yeah, the fog is rolling in. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but on the sides here, we can't even see more than maybe about the distance of the Peter Iredale, about as far as we can see down the sides of the beach here. Fog is rolling in. We can see. Yeah.
Okay, we're at the site of Battery Russell.
No, not the actual person Russell, but we are here at Russell.
Russell's. An old.
I think a lot of these are labeled too.
Yeah,
like
historic site for open something like that.
Army military installation. I don't know what.
Covert operations. That type of.
It's where they kept the
Young
guns.
G.I.
And stuff.
Joe.
Yeah.
Okay, so come on.
Yeah, these are all war sites that they used for battle in World War II. And a lot of the rooms and things are labeled too. At least they used to be.
Of course, considering around here in World War II really had nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
Around these areas, you'd have to pay attention to signs and pamphlets as watch your kids.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, back then they had a historic site. Yeah, Battery Russell.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see here. In here we have nothing.
We have the jail cell where, oh, Brendan left Shane.
That's really impressive.
Excuse the echo.
Yeah. Oh, we can see pretty good in here, actually.
I didn't know it was here.
Dan the man.
Where's the manifest? I don't think so. Let's see.
The lighting here is surprisingly good, actually. Maybe because the sun shines through here. Almost looks like shadows or something.
Peoples.
Yeah, that's the one thing about these old cement structures here. They just echo big time. Yeah, we're kind of going off the beaten path here, but yeah, a lot of these things are underground.
A lot of them might be covered up too.
Yeah. This is where it actually gets fascinating. It's like find the hidden entrance, you know. Leave it to Dan. Yeah, really.
Just about head straight down, so I'm not going that way.
Yeah.
It's not smart to go that way.
Looks like we got may even have a trap door sitting right here.
Alright, man, flip that up.
Well,
Yeah.
a tie down.
Yeah, we have a few pieces of cement here, kind of scattered.
Lord knows what they were used for.
Yeah. I don't know. Hard to say. Of course, what do we know?
For all you military buffs, you probably know what they are.
Yeah. Yeah, and they've after the war, you know, they dismantled a lot of this stuff, so it's not completely intact. But the main structures are still here.
And that's what makes it fascinating. That's what you want to know.
Fascinating.
Looks like we have a fence over this area.
Yeah.
See you.
So probably can't go that way. Then we got the main Battery Russell up there.
Got a trail off that way.
Ah, that's another place that I've never walked through. If we want to go over there. Actually, from the top of Battery Russell, there's actually a pretty good view from up the top.
The stairs go down. Brenda left Shane again.
This Brendan person sure gets around real fast.
Yeah. And now?
One duck leaving love.
What was that off of? Haven't heard that for years. Okay, yeah, you're right. One duck leaving love. Now I'm gonna see if I can get up here. Set Mr. Camera down. Yeah, this is one place you definitely gotta watch your step here. You could seriously mess yourself up. Or just mess yourself. Yeah. Yeah, here there's a lot of these huge holes like this one, which once held very large guns. Big gun! Naturally,
Add a little insert. Trying to get a little bit different perspective, so that's why we climbed up on top there instead of seeing it from where the gates, as you can see down there. Actually, get up a little higher, kind of look down on it. Kind of aerial view. Tactical.
Tactical perspective.
This is one where the larger guns sat, right in this area. So
Large, they were all big, man. Yeah, I think there's another one over to our right. Over. This is actually like a, I believe, a 3-story structure.
We are on the 4th story.
Well, yeah, I guess you'd call it.
I understand this goes around Volkswagen Beetle about 75 miles.
Something like that.
I can push a Volkswagen, or I can throw a Volkswagen Beetle about 4 miles.
Yeah, here's the other one here. This one actually does look a little bit smaller. Maybe it's just because we're farther away. A lot of people have
obviously been here.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people have defaced the premises. Of course, that's
natural.
Yeah, that's to be expected. What I can't figure out is what they used to do it. Like a rock or something. Yeah, scraped on it. No, it's not chalk. If it was chalk, it'd be washed away.
Kate, this is girl 96.
Okay.
Get that cat in Larson. Remember,
Oh, yeah.
cops come
Memorial
pick up
plaque.
the...
Huh?
Memorial plaque.
No, that I haven't seen before. And there's a trail over there too. And we can get down right in here. Get down now!
Get down now! Huh?
Wouldn't speed here? Shooting stairs?
No.
Yeah! No! It's a lot faster, don't it? Yeah, I think they might have added these rails for the attraction here.
I'm not attracted to stone.
It's hard to say what some of this was. Probably it has to do. You can see on the walls there's bolts and different things sticking out of the sides here.
Well,
Huh.
interesting garbage bin, but hey.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a tube in here. It goes back a few feet. Bunch of garbage sticking in it.
Which is pretty natural considering where you're at.
Yeah. Because it's gonna happen.
Alright.
Okay.
It states, Pacific Rim Peace Memorial, dedicated to members of the 249th Coast Artillery, Oregon National Guard, the 18th Coast Artillery Corps, Regiment Headquarters, Harbor Defense of the Columbia River, and all the other United States personnel stationed at Fort Stevens, Fort Canby, Fort Columbia, CASCU, number 1924, and the crew of the Japanese submarine I-25. Near this place on the night of June 21st, 1942, they faced each other when the Japanese submarine shelled Fort Stevens, making it the first foreign attack on a continental military installation since the War of 1812. May peace between our nations be everlasting. Dedicated June 21st, 1992.
So this here looks like what maybe one of the guns looked like that was in the structure there. One of the two guns. The other area over at the historical museum by there has a lot more of these same structures, but a lot larger, and they go. They span quite a bit of area. A lot of them being partially underground. Whoa! What do we got here?
Yeah.
Can we even get to that room?
That's right.
Okay.
Magazine room. Okay, this is where they held all their rounds.
And probably read People.
Time.
Yeah. Man, I can't see in here, man. It's too dark.
About the hours.
Except for where Dan's got the... I can barely see where the light's shining through the window there.
Okay, yeah, as you know, it's dark.
Yeah.
Once again.
Yeah, most of the rooms here are labeled for what their purpose was here. We look above us, we can see this might have been another one of those areas where they lowered equipment or other things down this shaft here.
There's looking up to the guns. Ooh, meat locker. Look there, meat locker.
Yeah, looks like it.
Where they hung up their prisoners.
Yeah. Take no prisoners.
Proceeding to the upper gallows.
They got something boarded up here, it looks like. Kind of looks like more of that pipe. It's like half of a pipe sticking there. Oh, no, that's not board, that's cement.
Concrete.
Huh. That's weird.
All right.
We're taking it down. Pull this out, we gotta see what's behind here. Okay. Okay, we're outside one of the historic areas here around the Fort Stevens Historic Museum. This is another one of the batteries, a little bit smaller, but this one actually, we're going to take and step inside this one.
There's a lot more turf to cover in this one.
Yeah. So this is where it's going to get interesting. We had a big spotlight, which we thought we were going to be able to try out, but it's not working. Our battery's dead.
We'll do the best that we can.
Yeah. Actually, right in here, even without the light, I can see pretty good. So we'll do the best we can here. We'll go down the quite a long corridor here. Okay. And lights on. Okay. Dan's in here somewhere. Actually, hey Dan, you want to show yourself here so we can see something? Because then the light, you're wearing a white shirt, I should be able to see better. Okay. Wow, it is cold in here.
Actually, this way. So check out this.
So you're telling me there's a monster in here, right?
There could be.
It's right here.
Was that a towel? Yeah. Looks like, actually looks like one we have. Okay, so that one comes to an end down there.
Yeah. There's this one down here. Which does what?
Yeah, this one's basically the same. Actually, this one looks a little bit shorter than the other one.
Okay, which way do you want to go? This way?
Either way. Is it? Looks like it curves around there. Or it looks like there's something down there. That looks like one of the... No, not that, but that... What is that?
Charcoal lighter.
Charcoal lighter. Looks like part of a sign sitting there.
That's annoying.
Yeah, could have done without that. We're ready for anything now. Okay. Well, I guess it does come to a dead end, unless there's a doorway down here. No, that's it. Got some cables hanging up here. There was some, yeah, there's that track I was talking about earlier. That's a big one now. Like they used to transport something along the ceiling there.
Yes, we are deep inside one of the batteries here at the Fort Stevens historical area. It almost looks as though there was obviously something sitting here on this wall, or they covered it up. They covered something up.
Yeah, they covered something up.
Okay. Found another adjoining room here. Huh.
Watch the wall.
Keeps getting interesting here. Okay. Watch the wall. Why is it going to start moving? If it does, I'm out of here. Well, it looks like we're just about out that hill.
When I say move, it doesn't.
Storeroom. Something room. Guard room. I would not want to be locked in. Okay, we're out. Yeah. We've come to the end of this particular battery, looks like. Okay, well that's interesting. We had a bunch of flowers growing out of the wall, like in a crack in the wall there. Well, that's interesting. You stop that. But
Room back here.
hello? Telephone room.
That would be for me.
Yeah. Was it like half the door?
No, it's a sliding door.
Oh, okay. I doubt if it slides anymore.
If only the piece of that towel.
I did.
Outlet or something there. So that's pretty much it for this one. Looks like we went through the entire thing there.
Sorry about that, folks. Expected to be a little more than that.
Yeah, well, this one isn't very big. A lot of it actually is kind of, it's inside the hill there. You can see above there. Huh. And I think...
An earthquake.
Yeah. Yeah. Looks like they might have had like 2 guns in these. 2 circular incisions. Circular patterns here in the concrete. Oops.
We believe we took radioactive samples earlier. We believe that something landed in these 2
Yeah. Crop circles cut in concrete.
See, I knew I found another piece there.
Or if you're looking down on it, it'd be 2 eyeballs looking up.
Right. You put like spray painted eyeballs there in the center of the thing there. Ah! So that's pretty much it for this particular one here. Guess now we'll move on and see what else we can show you. We're just about to close the park here.
About 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Less than, actually.
So we gotta get out before they lock us in. So that's about all we can show you around this this spot. There's more that we didn't get to take a look at, but I guess we'll leave that to the viewers. Leave that to you out there. So we'll see you at our next stop.
Okay, well, this is going to do it for this episode of Road Trips. Part of the problem was we got out here a little bit too late. An hour late to get to our next destination.
An hour and a half late.
What happened in the last half hour? We don't know. We're standing right outside of Fort Clatsop here, which we've decided will be our next road trip, and we'll have Fort Clatsop by itself and maybe 1 or 2 other things if we can come up with them. which would be a first here at Road Trips. Actually previewing the next show, which we haven't taped yet. But this is gonna do it here for this episode of Road Trips, such as it was. Yeah. So we hope you enjoy the show, and so we'll see you next time. I'm Todd Hilton.
I'm Dan Bradley.
And I'm Chris DeBois.
Guest co-host, Mr. Chris DeBois. I wonder why Mr. Chris DeBois is the only one. Well, so that's gonna do it. So we'll see you next time on Road Trips!